Well, good morning, everyone. It's the morning of check day 3 here. We're running a little bit earlier than yesterday, which is a good thing. Not that I run out of time, but it was getting late, and it was late before I got done skinning last night. But we're just getting ready to go. I grabbed a brand new 5-gallon pail full of sifted dried peat moss. I've used 5 gallons or just a little more than that, probably 5.5 gallons of peat moss in 2 days. So obviously that was putting out, I think I'm right at 40 coyote sets now. So, and then, you know, maintaining coyote sets. So yesterday I had, I think 8 or 9 of them I remade yesterday that had either catches, misses, set off, whatever, you know. So I've probably done 100 sets, or no, 70 sets roughly. Either way, I usually get about 10 sets per gallon of peat moss. Yesterday in the wind, it might have been a little bit worse than that because I was losing a lot of peat moss to the wind. Depends on, I use MB550s. I don't take a lot of peat moss to get them covered, but you start using like Duke 4s or some Bridger number 3, something like that. They're a lot bigger trap and they take a lot more peat moss to get them covered up. So, but yeah, I grabbed a brand new 5-gallon pail because I had emptied my gallon container plus the 5 gallons, and I got probably this much in my gallon container, so I got half a gallon left. So that isn't going to make me through the line today. I didn't refill it. We're going to get out on the line, and if we need to, I'll fill it on the line. I don't know how many sets, if any, I'm going to be adding, at least not in the main part of the line. We're going to, I think, run the entire line just kind of how it's set up today. If I find a spot that interests me, or if, you know, a fresh spot where some, you know, the field finally got worked, you know, I might go drop a couple sets. But I'm not going to try add to places where I already have some sets. If anything, like I said, I want to add on to the end of the line, keep extending the line more than filling in the line. So I could, you know, get me into new animals, you know, into the new territory, because you just never know where, you know, which sets are going to be the hot sets. Well, it doesn't pay to have 10 sets in an area that there's, you know, animals, when I could be spreading them out a little bit more and get me into some fresh territory. So yeah, so if I add, it'll be on the end of the line today. Number of catches obviously plays a role in that, because I mean, I was home probably with 2 hours a day like yesterday, maybe 2.5 hours the day before that. You know, I could have probably still been setting traps or adding to the line, but you know, I don't mind skinning in the dark, and I finished in the dark both of the last 2 days, but you know, I also don't want to be going until 10 o'clock at night trying to get animal skins. So I'm okay with the line I got out. I think we're flirting with 90 sets now total, land sets. I think we're, like I said, over 40 both raccoon sets and for coyote sets now. So yeah, I mean, that doesn't guarantee me a catch by any means, but I think that's all I got for this morning. Like I said, the hot rod's warming up just a minute here, and I kind of give everything a good look over this morning. I think we're ready to go. Everything's been working good. Yeah, if we can avoid the stinkers today, you know, that would help speed things up a little bit, but I'll take them if I catch them. So, all right, let's get out on the line. Hopefully I got something to show you. Just looking for some deer sign or other animal track sign. So, first set of the morning. I mean, I'm only less than 5 minutes from when I just shut you guys off. What we got here is, there's a big thick tree line going this way. It runs down and then it runs across over here. Down here, I don't know, 3/8 of a mile, there's a big drainage ditch down here. And then we got this wooded tree line goes for a half mile up here. And then it basically just dead ends. There's nothing else really up there for habitat, but when I was setting this over here behind my truck, the road, you know, it's actually dirt, there isn't grass. It looked like a fresh set of coyote tracks coming by there the day I set this, so it'd have been 3 days ago. And it's fun when I'm coming down, so there is a road over here and then there is a grove up there, so the coyotes could be coming down that road too for all I know. But coming down the road, I could see something in here. You know, it's higher than the rest of the field, and he was standing up when I first was driving up here. So I kind of think this is going to be the theme of the videos, but it's a pup again. It's a pretty small, I think it might be one of the smaller ones I've caught. Not by a lot, but a smaller pup. A lot better colored than the ones, all the ones yesterday. And this one like is only 1.5 miles from my house, so this is going to save some of my deer. But yeah, so this was just a flat set right here. I kind of wanted it over here, so northwest would be blowing this direction. So I wanted my set here with the idea that the wind would be blowing across this little road, so if they were walking over there. But I couldn't really find a good spot, so it ended up being, there was some of these run over pocket gopher mounds. There was kind of a pocket gopher mound there that worked out to be a pretty decent spot to give me a little bit of a backer, and it worked on this guy. So yeah, he's being pretty shy. I said he's not very big. I mean, he's got his fur all standing up on his back there, but yeah, there you go. Coyote in the sun. So first set, I got a set here, and I have a set part way down. I mean, it's like 100 feet down right about in here. There's a set over there. That one's a dirt hole set. This one was a flat set. Typically, these two sets produce me, you know, maybe 1 coyote or 2 coyotes a season. Some guys would probably tell you put them in better spots, but I'll take 1 coyote every spot I can. You know, you put out 25 spots, that's 25 coyotes, you know. And like I mentioned earlier, just trying to get my sets into different territories, you know, into, you know, away from each other a little bit. So you never know, these 2 sets could pay off for 10 coyotes this season. That's kind of the fun part of doing this, is you just never know. But yeah, I mean, sets that are good, they're easy to check. I drive down here, I could see them. I basically just whip a U-turn right here in the middle of this, you know, kind of the center of this section. There's where the road ends there, and I can go. So I got a 1/2 mile down here and a 1/2 mile back. So a mile out of my way to check 2 sets, and right there just paid off already on the 3rd check of the season. So, but yeah, I was kind of looking while I was walking up. I mean, obviously they spill corn, but there's some fresh deer tracks. Like right here's the deer track, but I don't see any coyote tracks, fresh ones on top of the dirt here. So who knows where he come from. Like right here, this is fresh from last night, I would say. Like right here's a deer track, here's one. So I'm more than anything looking just to see if there was a pack come through here, or if it was just a single, but I don't see even his tracks. So you know, again, it just gives you an idea what's around. So, all right, we'll get this guy out of there and get moved on. I'm not that far from home. I'm debating running him back home and dropping him off, just so I don't have to haul him around all day. But we'll get him out of there first, and we'll deal with that after. All right, guys, so we're only just a few sets down. I think I've checked 2 more coyote sets and 3 raccoon sets. And bingo, we got ourselves another catch. So I'm down in this drainage ditch again. So yesterday I had a skunk up here, and this set was empty, but I had showed you like the little disturbance that was around my trap, you know, that happened the first check. So the first check, both sets have been messed with. Yesterday a skunk, today a raccoon. Not a small raccoon, but not a big one either. Decent size, but yeah, nice raccoon right here. He's being kind of camera shy. And again, so this drainage here runs up kind of along the road ditch up there. comes down, and then this is the main draw system, runs for a mile or something down here, and then we just got a big culvert going under the road. So I can't trap on the other side of the culvert, but I can over here. So again, I just put my trap kind of at the intersection of these two drainages. I spray a little fish oil up that one, kind of across that one, and then down this way, and then across this way. So anything that's coming through here should cross a fish oil path and lead them right to my trap. And sure enough, bingo bango, there's a raccoon. So we're off to excellent start again this morning here. So coyote and a coon, and I got less than 10 traps checked. So we'll get this guy out of here and reset. Nice thing about dog proofs is that, I mean, I'll be out of here in 3 minutes. You know, where like remaking a coyote set, it's 15 probably by the time I, get the animal out of there and then get the set remade. So hopefully the raccoons are all caught in dog proofs today and not caught in my coyote sets like yesterday. So, and yeah, like I said, this raccoon makes 10 for the year already, and that's one more than I caught all last season, and I'm only on the third check, and I'm only just hardly getting going. So I don't know, I just couldn't catch them last year, and I can this year, I guess. So all right, we'll keep loading the fur in the truck and be on our way. Well, I knew this was a possibility with these two traps, but they're in a good spot to catch pretty much everything. So, you're going to catch what you catch. So, we have a catch here. So right up here is the yard where I had the triple on skunks the first morning. I drove by all the sets and I'm just disgusted with what I saw up there, so I just kept on driving to come back and check these, and now I gotta catch back here too. So we'll get back up in the yard and we'll show you what's going on there. But we do have a catch. So again, what I have here is just, there's a slough here, and this kind of cattaily grass flows over to like where this fence line is, and then this is the fence line, and then there's a big chunk of CRP over there. So I expected the coyotes to either run on the edge of the actual field, which is this set, or if because they mowed this, I figured they maybe run right on the edge of the mowing over there in the grass. So I put a pipe dream set right over there and a dirt hole here. The first check I had a raccoon caught in this one, but as you can see, I'm pretty sure one of his cronies was here. Dug my trap up. I don't really see any paw prints or anything in here. There's no dog prints for sure. I kind of give it a good look over before I turned you guys on. But we do have a raccoon over here. He's back foot caught in my pipe dream set. So yeah, not the biggest raccoon in the world. I'm sure just a young of the year raccoon. Again, back by this tree, all the cattails and stuff and grass are all knocked down around this tree. So I kind of wondered. And then like right here, there's sort of a trail. And then actually right over here, like right here, there's sort of a trail going in there. So I kind of knew there was a possibility. I even mentioned, I think on that first video, I thought about dropping a dog proof back there, and I didn't do it, but probably should have. You never know. I mean, these raccoons could have been just going along the edge here too. So yeah, second raccoon of the morning. Yeah, I'm not that far. I guess I've checked like 10 sets since I last turned you on, but yeah, this is why I try to keep adding sets, because like I just mentioned, I've checked 10 sets before I turned you guys on again. So, days are going to slow down. I'm not going to be catching animals every stop. So, all right, we'll get this little fella out of my trap here, get both of these remade. That's kind of the bugger about this setup. I got to touch both of these sets. It's going to take me a few minutes on each one to get these remade. Get that one that's dug up will be fairly quick, but the other one's going to take me a minute to get the animal out of there. So anyway, all right, let's get these out of here, get him out of here, and get moved on. All right, so I'm back up in the yard here. Just got done taking care of that raccoon and my coyote set, and then got the other one remade. Like I said, I drove all the way around, checked all these sets. I actually got 3 catches here in the 7 sets. but I'm disgusted. I don't know if even disgusted. I'm disappointed, honestly. So yesterday I had my dog proofs. You know, the balls were knocked off again. The rats had ate part of my bait. There was still some in each dog proof, but they had ate some. So I took the golf balls off and I put Z caps on. Well, here, before I pick that up, that, my friends, is a big rat caught in my dog proof with the Z cap right here laying on the ground. So they're fairly heavy. So I figured, well, a rat isn't going to be able to figure out how to get that off because it sets like perfectly flush like that in the dog proof. All 3 of my Z caps are knocked off. And this one here has a rat in it for the 2nd day in a row. I think I've mentioned this, last year especially. I am not feeding the rats, so we're gonna reset them all today again. But if this happens again, I'm done. Like, if they basically eat the bait that's in these traps, as soon as they're empty, I'm pulling them, because I am not screwing around with rats over and over every damn day, having to remake every one of these sets just because the rats keep stealing my bait. So we'll get this one reset, and then we'll turn you guys back on. I'll show you the rest of them. All right, I'm so to the second one. Got that rat out of that trap. It don't take long. Getting dog proof. There's this hole going underneath this building. It seems like you can kind of see the leaves are rustled, and they were sort of rustled going this way over here. So I figured this would be a bang bang set for either a skunk or a raccoon in here, but like I said, you can't keep them from doing this. Z-cap laying on the ground again. So like I said, you know, they set pretty darn flush on there. So I don't know how they're really getting it off, if a rat is, you know, smart enough to pull up on that to get it out, or how they got it out of there, but they obviously did. And on 3 different dog proofs, all 3 dog proofs I got here were all like that. So, because that's 2. So again, we just got kind of this, well, the lean is tipped over on this granary, but and then a steel bin, and then we got a granary over here. I mean, you could see, like right here, the rat's got a hole going in there. There's one up there. Over here, the soybeans are actually falling out of the building as we speak. Right here, right in the corner there. So they have all the food they'd ever want in here. You know, and so do actually the other animals too, but okay. Here's the 3rd one. Again, we still got most of our bait is still in there, but again, our Z-cap is knocked off. So we're gonna give them one more day, because one thing I don't know, did a skunk come by here and fiddle with them a little bit? Because I don't feel like you always catch the skunks. Like a raccoon, if they mess with it, I think you're gonna catch them. But did a skunk come by here and get the Z-cap out and steal a little of the bait and then leave, you know, or whatever? And the reason why I say that, because right over here, I have a 160 blocking this hole. The first day I had a skunk in there, and I got a skunk in there again today. Oh, a darn good sized one, and he's got beautiful stripes on him. So beautiful skunk got in 160 right there. I can't really smell that he sprayed or nothing, which is awesome. Okay, so we'll come back and get him out of there. I put on them, so I'm walking like this because I don't want to shine you into the sun. I put on food service gloves, and then I throw the skunk in a grocery bag. So I'll come back over and reset that when I got gloves in a bag. And then we're over here by the house. So we're just gonna throw the pail. So I did bring my pail on in case I did need to add some bait to some of those sets. So we're by the house here. Again, the trail kind of comes up right here. I had a real big skunk caught in this strap here, the first check. And then over here, I have a double box with 220s in there each end of it. And bait in the middle of it. And as you can see, we got ourselves, oh boy, he's not dead. We got ourselves a skunk right here in a 220 right next to my box, but his tail just went up when I walked in there. So we're going to step back from him. We'll have to get, he looks like he's caught like sideways. So his body's like this, but the trap is like squeezed up and down on him and not, you know, it should squish from the top and bottom, but it looks like it's squishing in from the sides. So we're going to have to get in there and get him out of there. But so 2 skunks and a rat's in here. Like I said, I'm not feeding the rats, so we're going to give her a day. If my Z-caps are all knocked off again, I'm not rebaiting them again. So like today they all had a little bait in there. We'll just keep resetting them if they got bait, but as soon as they run out of bait, I'm going to pull them. So like I said, I just, you know, even right now, would it take me 5 minutes, I bet, to walk around this yard just to reset those 3 traps when I got a rat in there? Well, that's not what I want to be doing. So I don't want to be spending 5 minutes walking around doing that every day. So all right, we'll get this skunk here taken care of, get that one over there out of the trap, and we'll be on our way. All right, guys, so we, I think I'm making the smart choice today. So I was going to add some coyote sets. This grove that's right up here had cornfield around it. They just worked it yesterday, and they were working it when I come by, and I thought, you know what, tomorrow, which would be today, I'm going to put coyote sets out there. Slowed way down. I'm like, God, you know what, we're just going to run my line straight through today. We're to the point now where we probably aren't adding a lot of sets, if any, to the end of the line either. So again, should I be putting sets there? Probably, but I got another catch here. I already got 5 in the truck, and I got 1 more, so that makes 6. So what we have here is a block of woods. So this is on the corner of a 160-acre wildlife. It's all grass except for this block of woods on the corner here. And the corner of the roads is right down there. Last year I noticed this was cornfield right here. Last year I noticed there was a trail coming up out of here, and there was actually fresh tracks on the gravel road when I come by here. So we're going to try and film and walk in there at the same time. So I went down here in the woods a little bit and figured out kind of where the trails were coming from. And I put a raccoon set in here, and I did catch one great big raccoon in here last year. And then this set was monkeyed with one other time. Yesterday I actually was back in here because my golf ball was knocked off my dog proof. So I put the golf ball back on, and I, freshened up the fish oil around this set, because it did rain after I was here and made this set. So a guy probably should go around to all of the ones I set the first day and freshen them up. See how literally the road's right there. So I'm 15 feet off the road. I'm literally in the road ditch, but there's a trail. I just walked in on it. It kind of comes right down here, right in the bottom. And it goes right through here. And it goes right down the bottom of this thing. And there is sort of a trail up there higher on the bank. But I have sets down around the corner of this wildlife that are kind of covering that trail. So, oh boy. But we got ourselves a catch here. Yeah, so, and then like I said, the trail just kind of cut right here and goes up through there, and then there was kind of a spot right here where they were going up to the road. So yeah, just kind of a trail set for a raccoon down in here. Got ourselves, it's not a very big raccoon, but we'll add him to the truck and we'll get on our way. You know, like I said, just kind of an oddball, out of the way spot that I never thought about setting, but had a little luck with it last year. So I thought, you know what, we're going to reset, even though it's not corn and the trails going out to the road basically don't even show up this year. Thought, well, the trail down here is heavy enough that we're going to put it right on the trail down here and see. And bingo, it paid off this year. So this set here will probably be every year kind of set for me. Once you find a spot like this, there's no reason to do anything different if you're making catches where you're putting your traps. So I will, like this stick here, I will get that out of there so because they get enough sticks so it can tangle them up in the chains and stuff, and then if they lose swiveling, they can pull out a little easier. So it's not a giant raccoon, but it's not a small one. I think it's not a young of the year, I don't think, but we'll get him out of here, or it out of here, I don't know, and move on with the line. Heck of a start to the season so far. I thought about it when I was up by the truck. Do not expect catches like this every day all season, because I definitely don't. If it happens, I mean, what a year I'm gonna have. But yeah, we're stacking up fur so far, and I'm quarter of the way through the line, third of the way probably through the line today. So like I said, I don't know how much, if any, we're gonna be adding today, but we'll keep seeing what we get as we go here, and we'll make the decision when we get there. All right, we're a ways down the line now. Yeah, it's been slow, nothing's been monkeyed with. Yeah, I went and got gas in the truck. Just got done eating lunch, honestly. I grabbed a little pizza while I was at the gas station. So, got a catch here. What I have is a little chunk of grass in the corner of the road. So, the corner of the road is right over here. So, there's a road right here, maybe 100 yards from me. And then there's a road up here, maybe 100 yards from me. I make catches here every year. Again, it's one of those spots I set every year. Typically, I'm always on this side, which is the north side. This would be the east side. But they left these beans right here standing. So it kind of, I didn't want to move that far down the line. I like to be just kind of on the corner. So my scent kind of blows kitty corner across this. But I have a flat set right here that hasn't been messed with. And then over here, I had a dirt hole right on the corner. So my set was right here. But you could see right back there, that is a coyote. So what I have here is I actually have a chain slider set up with like a Hague slider bracket. So it's like number 2 chain. I guess like right here, you could see it. Right here's the chain. So I got it staked at my trap, and then I got it anchored out in the grass. So what this does is it gets my animals out of sight of people. The first year I trapped this, I just had them hard staked like normal. Well, I had a guy literally sitting on the road up here looking with binoculars, looking out here when I pulled up, and he just is curious what was going on because he could see the coyote standing there. Well, I don't want that. So what I did is I put them on sliders, and then out there I actually put a gray fence post by each set to mark them, so I can tell if there's a animal caught or if something's happened because my fence post gets knocked over. Otherwise, I mean, if they were sitting out here on the edge of the field, I could see them, but if they're in the grass like this coyote, I could not see from the road over here at all. I couldn't see both of my fence posts. Like right here's the one, the other one's laying right by the coyote here, and that's how I know to come out here to look at them. But yeah, looks like a little bit bigger coyote. I still think it might be a pup, to be honest. Just looking at like the size of the legs and like the pointiness and size of the head, the pointiness of the snout and the size of the head. But I kind of think they had a lot of pups, because I think out of all of them I got, only maybe one has been an adult. But yeah, so a coyote out here hiding in the grass. So we'll remake my set right here. Again, it was just a dirt hole. So my dirt hole was kind of that way with my chain running out kind of the corner of my set, kind of past the dirt hole. That's the only kind of cumbersome thing about running them on a slider, is you have to actually hide the slider and like get it buried underneath your trap and all that so you can get your set made. So you, like I said, my set is kind of like this with the slider running at an angle. But all right, like I said, so kind of one of those perennial spots. Every year I catch coyotes out here. Every year I set it. You know, when you find spots like this, like I said, this set is, or this location is not one of those things that like just screams coyote spot to you. But the landowner, like the first year I trapped, he's like, there's coyotes running all over the place. So I said, I'm like, well, we'll put some sets here. And I put some up by his house, which is right behind me. And then there's a rock pile out in the middle of this section that I put sets by. And man, I caught a bunch of coyotes that first year, and I catch a bunch out here every year. So whether it's here or out by that rock pile, you know, this place is good for probably 3 or 4 coyotes every season. So third check, first coyote. And the rock pile I just set yesterday. These sets have been here for 3 days. This is the third check on them. So they do have to sometimes just weather in a little bit, or it just takes that long for the animals to come by. So, all right, we're going to get this guy out of here, sets remade, and get on our way. All right, guys, well, we made it home. Another pretty darn successful day on the line. My catches are going down just a little, and I had a few more sets out, so I don't know what that means. I mean, the 2 days that I've had already this season, I can't expect that every day. So, man, I still did good today as well. I can't really compare one day to the next because, like I said, it's completely different days, completely different challenges on the line, the whole works. So, I made pretty much a straight run through the line. I pulled one dog proof. I had put it in a spot that it looked like there was a sign there, like a trail going in and out of a culvert, out of a wildlife into a cornfield, but they combined the cornfield yesterday. Not that that's going to stop the animals from going there, but tomorrow I am going to extend my line. I got kind of a south loop I want to add on. Could be like 7 or 8 coyote traps, I believe, down there, and probably maybe a raccoon set here or there, I'm not sure. But yeah, so we're gonna add that on. But this set that I put, after I put it there, I realized, well, if I add that south line on, it's gonna be like 3 miles out of the way or 2 miles out of the way just to check the one trap. So I pulled the one dog proof, so I net negative 1 trap today. So otherwise, yeah, we're going to go over the catches here, and then we're going to actually go out and set 3 coyote sets here on our land. And then I also have a bunch of peat moss that's dried but not sifted yet. So I'm going to do that before I start skinning tonight. I had like 12 gallons of peat moss already sifted. I was kind of behind the 8 ball, I'm not going to lie. This is about the one thing that I really didn't have ready to go like I should have. But I've used, I figured, 6 gallons, if not just a touch more of peat moss already. I only had like 12 to 13 gallons dried and sifted already. So it's dry. I probably got, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 8 gallons more of peat moss to sift, because like I said, it's dry. And then I'll spread out another batch, so in case I need some more in another week, or towards the end of the season, I'll have some dry. But I'm going to do that while I still got daylight, because I really don't want to be sifting it in the dark. So as long as I got time, I'm going to do that, and then we're going to do the skinning at the end. I can skin in the dark. I got a light on the front of the garage, and I have this work light here. I either aim it down, or I can aim it like that at my skinning machine. So I do pretty good skinning in the dark, and I've been skinning in the dark the last 2 nights anyway, so it just feels like home. Yeah, let's go through the catches. So starting off, first set of the day, a pup coyote. He's not real big. I mean, I don't know if I could get them closer together, but you know, this coyote here, I mean, looking at just the butts are pretty much lined up. This one here is a whole head or more longer. Yeah, work with me. Getting back on the truck. This one here is a kind of a tanner colored coyote. He don't have, like the black and silvery that this one has. This one's got a beautiful hackle on there. This one doesn't really have that at all on there. He's just tan. He's got a little bit of black tips to his fur, but not much. He's got some burrs in him. You know, like right here there's one, right here there's a big wad, and right here there's a spot. Yeah, first set of the day is as good as the last one. You've heard me say that a few times if you've watched my videos in the past. You know, it's fun to watch. As soon as I was coming down that road in the sunrise, you could see him just kind of silhouetted and bouncing around. It's fun to see. This coyote here I had caught in that the slide chain setup. I thought it was a pup, but man, he's bigger than this one by a ways. So if it's a pup, it's a really big pup. He's better furred. I mean, this guy here, you know, the fur is an inch long. This one here, it's like almost 2 inches deep. So, and like I said, this one's got the beautiful hackle on there. You know, it seems like this is kind of the standard coyote, has that nice silvery hackle on there, that line up on the back. You know, like I said, then that's probably the best one I've had all season. So, yeah, and he doesn't really actually have, feeling him, he doesn't really have too many, if any, birds in him. So that's kind of a pleasant surprise because they've all been kind of full of birds so far this year. So that makes 7 coyotes for the season now in 3 checks. And then over here, we got them laid out in, yeah, the order I caught them in. So this one here was caught in a dog proof in that wildlife. Or let's see. No, this one here was caught in the dog proof down in that ditch, in that ravine. This one here was caught in the coyote set back behind where these skunks were and where the rats are messing with me. And then this one here was caught in a dog proof too. So it's nice that they're at least getting caught in my dog proofs and not my coyote sets, except for the one. And then these 2 guys were in that yard. This one here was caught by that building. I mean, again, a nice big skunk, got beautiful stripes on him. I mean, they got just a little bit of an orange tint to it, but very minimal. And then this one here was the one that was caught in the 220 box by the house. He's got a lot better tail. You see the white on the tail. You know, this one's got quite a bit of black. That one's got a beautiful tail on there. You know, it's got more of like the full crown of white, where this one here has got more black kind of on the tail. He's a little bit orangier. A little bit of that might come out of there when I'm doing the peroxide bath. And then over here, I threw him over here. So we got ourselves a roadkill. I can't really see that he's damaged other than he just got blood coming out of his nose. But again, a huge skunk, you know, in comparison, like here, you know, he's twice as long as my foot is. Huge skunk. He doesn't smell, doesn't stink, anything like that. So, man, if you'd have told me 5 years ago that I was going to be picking up roadkill skunks, I would have laughed right in your face. But I already have 2 to process tonight. What's one more? Is it going to make any difference? So we'll get the essence sucked out of them. The roadkill one, it didn't smell, but that doesn't mean he didn't spray. So we'll see if I get any essence out of the 3 of them, and then we'll get them skinned right away. So what I've been doing is the skunks first. So skin them, well, suck the essence, open them up, take the glands out of the back, you know, kind of unload them, then they can't spray you, or, you know, there's no chance of it leaking. And then skinning them, doing the peroxide bath, and then I hang them on the front of my garage, which if you guys have watched the end of my last 2 videos, the pictures at the end, I show all the furs hanging on the garage. So I just will let them dry as long as, basically until I'm done skinning everything else, and they get fairly dry like that. And then I package them up in gallon Ziploc bags. So just because they are still damp and I don't want them to freeze the rest of my fur. And then I also know what they are in those bags to keep them separate from everything else. So, but yeah, one nice big skunk and a roadkill skunk, and the 2 I already had. Like I said, if I didn't have any already, I'd have been a little more hesitant to pick one up. But yeah, I mean, like I said, he's not squish flat, he's not bloated, he's not anything like that. So like I said, we'll see if we can get a little bit of value out of him. And Otherwise, yeah, I need to reload my truck because I'm going to set that south line. So I only got 4 MB550s in here, and I don't have a lot of that upper bin. I got some Montana #3 dogless traps, some Duke #4s, and then there's a couple Bridger #3 dogless in there too. So I don't know if I'll do it tonight or I might wait till tomorrow morning. I'm going to stop at the trapping shed and probably get me another dozen MB550s. Let's see if I got 4 left. I got 41 MB550s out, maybe more than that, 43 MB550s out right now. So like I said, we'll load up another dozen of them. I got them hanging down here by the steel bin. I got my trapping rack where I dye everything. They've been hanging there for better than a month. You know, I cleaned all the dirt off of them, sprayed them down and rinsed them, and then they've been hanging there ever since. So now all I do is just grab them, put them in my tote, and take them with me, get them in the ground. So again, they're not catching any fur on the rack down there. So all right, I think that's all I got for you. Like I said, I got some work behind me because, like I said, I'm going to go set 3 coyote sets first. I'm going to come back and sift peat moss, and then we're going to get to skinning, and hopefully we'll be done shortly after dark, or maybe even before dark, but probably shortly after dark. And yeah, tomorrow, like I said, we're going to try and add on to the line. I don't know early on in the line if I'm going to add any sets other than maybe that one grove where I caught the first raccoon there. I may put those 2 coyote sets out by that grove. I maybe should have did it today. I probably have time, but again, it's nice to be able to get a few things done around my yard here too. So tomorrow we'll maybe add those 2. We'll add the south line in there, and we're getting out a good majority of the line that I want to get out of the land line before water trapping. So I've been a little bit cognizant of that as well. I really still plan on hitting water trapping hard, so stay tuned for that. But with that, I'm also somewhat being conscious of how many land traps I'm getting out. I mean, I got, well, 90 out right now, or close to it. I don't want to get 150 land traps out and then I don't have any time to actually set or check water traps. So yeah, I got 5 more checks on the land line. The 6th check would be the start of water season. So we'll be adding probably some more raccoon sets along some of these ditches that have a little water in there. Because in Minnesota, I can't trap next to the water until the water season opens. So we'll probably be adding a few sets by some sloughs and things. You know, adding maybe a few dog proofs, but probably some 220s and trails that are going around the edges of some of these sloughs. If I'm going out there to check some muskrat sets, I might as well have a raccoon set right there too. So, and then mink sets, we're going to try and put some mink sets around too. So, all right. So yeah, just stay tuned for the water trap. Like I said, the plan is still to go after it hard. But man, the land line is producing. So yeah, I don't know, 15 and 12. I got 27 animals caught now in 3 checks on the land line. So it's well, and a couple rats too. So you add them in there. We're close to 30 animals in 3 checks. So that's a heck of a start to the season. And I guess with that, I just want to thank you guys for riding around with me again this year. We'll see you out on the line tomorrow.